lurking through a hole that resembled these thoughts, brought into a room a reflection of his fraught, opening a door greeted by a similar face. "I've been here before," he said, as he entered this familiar place. Now laid on a sofa bed, pillow under head, ready-made prepared as we tread through his dread. "What do I call you?" "Therapist," he said, spirit of intuition from a heart rendered dead. "Why are you here?" "Well, fear and curiosity. My path now unclear, overshadowed by atrocity. Oh, now I see you dwell within misery, while I propel and try expel greater mystery. Explain, while I refrain from going fully insane. I welcome pain to sustain a greater sense of disdain. I see, so to be a greater writer, so to speak. Creativity in agony is what you truly seek. That is portion, for you see distortion in mind. Lost to be found in the end, clarity I will find. What if you don't? What if you fully break away? To assume it will consume will only lead that part into play. It's mind over matter, though the latter is straining. For the spectator sure, I imagine, entertaining. Poetry in its brilliance, the art of humanity, though I show no resilience for a part loss of sanity. I wasn't always this way, I remember as though yesterday, still but a child, not dour, rather blooming with ease, like a wild flower pure, blossoming with the breeze. What happened? Well, you see, trouble embodied me. Like a magnet I attracted those whose innocence were also retracted. I was only but 12 when I had my first drink. It was beautiful, irrefutable, watching myself sink. And was that the start? Well, it was part. That and troubled friends. We are all trouble, rubble that violently descends from the mountains of innocence, without truth, the youth of sins. We hindered guidance, strangers to abidance. We were our own law, and society's righteousness was left at the door. Do you still feel this way? In many ways today I'm still but the same. I see it as my part to play, though unaware, subconsciously, like I'm prone to the game. I found that without thought I'm brought back into that position, in the end bound distort as I mindlessly make every decision. Almost as though second nature, I'm too immature to do otherwise. Until I fully endure, I'll render it blurred before I realize. Tell me, where is it you find closure? Well, exposure to writing. It's enticing for sure. It's expression, not exciting. Does expression not excite you? Does it not feel as though your moment? Does it not at least ignite you? No, it's meant to bring atonement. What is atonement to you really? You drink till you drop. You dwell within misery, yet see no reason to stop. Is self-destruction your goal? Are you thrilled by insanity? Obstruction in a hole. I seek to ripple reality. And how's that going so far? Have you done anything productive? I always see you at the bar. Tell me, how is that constructive? You won't see your friends. You ridicule your family. You claim there's no ends, but you ride beside misery. A contradiction of self, a confliction of heart and soul. Self-inducing feeble health, and your mind a black hole. Why don't you shut your thoughts out? Then I wouldn't be here, would I? You've tried, I've no doubt, but I dwell within your mind's eye. An altering of perception, deception from thought, otherworldly reception, inception now brought. Tell me, is it truly freeing? Well, I'm seeing with new eyes, like a succubus being, devilish with an angelic disguise. I know at its core, evil eating at your soul, but one thing it's good for, making you feel you're in control. Intoxicating, exhilarating, inducing rush with a brush, alleviating, excogitating, render mind blind with a blush. Perhaps you shouldn't drink, perhaps I shouldn't think, and watch myself sink below her wanton thrillful brink. Prefer to watch myself slip, taste the tip of her deathly lips, all but just a single sip, and in my back her close grip. Is there something you're not telling me? Wellingly behind imagery, camouflaging a mystery, a collage that you're blind to see. Scattering shards while ripping apart, flattering cards, I deal you my hearts. Singular you meant, no, pieces on the floor, though my words are no accident. Listen carefully once more. He bears the same face, though he yearns in a craze. He wears inflamed lace, and he burns in a blaze. Cowering beings, condemned in a bodily cage, now devouring, freeing, intoxicating in rage. A split of personality, someone pretending to be me, from out the outskirts of reality, longing for disorder and anarchy. Devouring destruction, self-mutilation, obstruction, a mental deconstruction, and a willful, chillful eruption. What are you thinking about now? Well, freedom and desire. And does drinking endow? Well, it's partly fuel to the fire. The fire for what? My lust for life. Okay, I get that, but doesn't it fuel your inner strife? No, that is regret. Regret and fear. Something I forget when I'm met with a beer. So a longing for escaping? No, I long for something new. New produces a reshaping, introduces a new view. Escaping then irrelevant as I'm met with tranquil ease. For you see, met with atonement, a long-awaited appease. You're running in circles, a constant self-contradiction. I'm only after cheap thrills. No, you're in denial of your addiction. I'm addicted to freedom's touch. It just so happens to be. In order to feel as such, I have to drink, unfortunately, to undergo that same feeling I felt as a child, when life was more freeing, the environment still wild. Unknown territory, not kept shackled bound by the chains of reality, the atmosphere truly profound. What's profound about drunkenness? You see the world differently. For the loss of consciousness, you see the beauty in atrocity. So a longing for the past, while the feeling it brings you see, curiosity vast and a whole world of mystery. An endless playground, all at your will, as I said unbound, law at a standstill. Like an alternate dimension, you feel as though you're in your own realm. Sail sky ascension, freedom at the helm. A sanctuary, a separation from reality. Can you see poetry brings me a sense of serenity. An escaping from life, begotten once in strife. Here I'm free, in touch with me. And all I like to be, the idea of being free. In touch with myself and the world in which I delve. Safety and purity, free from judgment and obscurity. This is me, can you see an escaping from reality? Sanctuary in fantasy, I love to be. Permanently in this realm of hopeful divinity. A world of imagination, fascination. Here I am he, free, who I long to be. This is my moment, I feel atonement. My sacred sanctuary, I'm free from your fallacy. I love you, words profoundly seeping through. Speaking to me, and she speaking clearly. I listen closely, delving deep into the imagery she carries forward with every word. Poetry, you're mine, oh how you're divine. You're my home, I freely roam. Throughout your dimension, I feel ascension, deep in soul and my being in whole. My heart beats for you, I now see clearly through. Don't leave me, I value your authenticity. Lustful thoughts, my mind distorts, under the influence, beauty in ignorance. A feeling of innocence touched by impotence, a numbing of sense, a spiritual cleanse. Seemingly intense, the atmosphere dense, though in denial, I smile for a while. I walk a lovely mile, and a world I reconcile. Maybe you can't see, but this is how it's meant to be. I'm happy, surrounded by those of thrillful ambiguity. What is atrocity? That I right now cannot see. For I feel so free, I feel as though I'm meant to be. Surrounded by profound nature, those whose hearts are pure, the atmosphere dear, all is clear. I no longer know fear, as all is but sincere. Thank you, friends, I see a world of no ends. Addiction, infliction, contradiction, indecision. Sure, maybe, but can you see? I'm feeling as though truly free, as I'm meant to be. Welcome, spirit of hopeful divinity, will you please show me? Love in its purest form, let the clouds of thrillful lust swarm. Rain upon me droplets of lovely imagery, so that I may see a path of intuity. Free me from the strife, the trials of life. Show me happiness, be rid of me the abyss, and show me bliss. Isolation, I long for you dearly. You feed me fascination, I see you're here nearly. I've had enough, I want my own space. Life has been rough, I see it scarring your face. I've drank quite a bit, and now I'm over it. Before this lifeless pit, I feel I'm now about to quit. These figures were fun to trace through in the moment, but now I feel I'm done. Will you bring me atonement? A handful of mood swings as I don't clearly see what life truly brings, what's beyond this mystery. I'm confused, I don't understand. All these things I've abused are but bottles of quicksand. I'm sinking below my sorrow. I feel as though in denial. I search for tomorrow, though the future on speed dial. The calling won't proceed. Am I left to my devices? I feel desperate need, cleansing from my vices. Inscribed in misery, agony and hate, these oblique souls can't see. The only color I see is slate. A world of grey, though red accompanies dread. It's needless to say, both are blind to the path ahead. Where do I go? What do I do? Where is the glow I spoke of faintly passing through? You're afraid. While the path has been laid, you let your mind degrade, while I see all the sights faintly fade. I'm aware of the dying vision, wanton blows rebuke ambition. Are you broken? All the words I'd once spoken, perhaps thought-provoking, perhaps soul-awoken, the flesh craving attention, being in a hole under condescension. A confliction of mind, though I struggle to find a reason to render unblind. Is there truly beauty a kind? I don't know, is there? Well, you don't care. I pay you to see my problems through. Who are you? What is it you plan to do? Who am I, actually? Don't you know me? Don't you see my misery as it is to be, fully consuming me of my hopeful divinity? I'm confused. Well, I've abused psychedelics and alcoholic beverages. Whatever I feel salvages a feeling of freedom. What do you look for? A heavenly kingdom. Death seems so easy, serenity is free, beauty and purity a heavenly sanctuary. Are you scared? I'm unprepared. Life and its demands. Where do I stand? I don't know, where are you? I'm in between atrocity and a heavenly view. Do you love pain? Well, I refrain from fully indulging, just enough to see if I'm capable of feeling. Love is your desire. Love and truth I admire. Love and appreciation, though I lack realization. In the moment at hand, well, where do you stand? In a freakish, untamed land, where none has been planned. Well, now I'm here, and what do you feel? Fear. Is any of this real? Is it to you? Maybe, though I can't see through the tainted, foggy misery. Is this an idea, a vague-sided fallacy? Why am I here? What is it I long to see? How should I know? Well, you are me. You see life's glow, you know only beauty. I know a concept, and what is it really? You long to intercept the balance between reality and fantasy. Perhaps you think too deep, perhaps I feel overwhelmingly. I feel demons slowly creep beneath my sense of ambiguity. Why am I here? Perhaps you need someone to talk to. Are your words truly sincere? We both long to walk through the trials of terror, though our mind at a blur. Sure, tell me, is your heart in error? It functions physically, although emotionally distressed. Perhaps you can see that which renders me depressed. Perhaps you know the answer. Sure, though I long for closure. Denial endure, a loss for a sense of something pure. A book in a day, though you look the other way. So who is to say that it's not my part to play? An existential crisis looms. Well, who am I? Drowning in gloom, no lifeboats passing by. A stranger to yourself then. Well, won't you help me see? You fall under the same trap again. Well, then help me be free. I'm only but a fraction of your heart. I'm afraid your soul is torn apart. I speak to you through your art, though alas, this is only but the start. Lost in your mind, blind to divinity, serenity find, though a fallacy plagues the visionary. Speak sensibly to me. I'm straightforward as is. Then why can't I see? For you are but cowardice. For afraid of the unknown, though you claim when alone, you see all that's shown, but that won't help on its own. Just know I hate you. Well, I hate me too, for I am you. Can you see that through? I want enlightenment, please. Well, so do I too. I want this inner fog to cease. I want a renewal of you. I'm sorry, my friend, you're alone on this trail. I'm with you till the end, from your scattered frail shards on a flower bed, the rendered dead within head. I follow where you tread, I forget what you said. Isolation abundantly, though a split personality. Will you help me see? I am you subconsciously. Physically alone you proceed, though I feel all you heed will slowly recede. Will you fall into greed? No, I'm not of that nature. Sure, your heart's pure, though your soul at a blur, rendered from all you endure. I'm lost. Don't be, everything will come in hand. Soon you'll see when we escape this mortal land. Your friends are here. Where? They're projecting from your mind. I thought that much was clear, rendering you blind. Who are you? Beer, fear, addiction? Do you feel you've broken through? Have you lived up to your prediction? We go by many names, we're the flames within your soul. We played your deathly games, now we burn without control. Your words are your downfall, yet ironically your upbringing. Shh, heaven's trying to call. Will you leave the phone ringing? A part of you wants death, yet the other wants life. You're blessed with dear breath, yet are burdened with strife. A creative onslaught you've brought upon your very being. You feel most alive when you're distraught. Tell me, is it truly freeing? For the sake of your art, from the heart of despair, you gave yourself the part. Tell me, do you really think they care? In the end, in a room, and you know it is true, just alone with your gloom and your pretty words too. Here I find myself at the end of the bottle, and I still feel regretfully so. My mind desirably in full throttle, but then again I lack the gear to go. I find myself empty as I write this, just as the bottle before me. Why is it I cling to this atrocious drunken abyss, if I know I'll linger so regretfully? I'm sober as I write this last piece. This is not the ending I expected. Still the longing dare not to cease, despite the fact for a month I reflected. I've been sober for a while, and I find I'm more productive, though I bear a fake smile, for the mind is still but destructive. It's easier to write when I drink myself nowhere, but at the cost of the light, lost in darkness without the slightest glare. Is it worth the cost to render lost for my art, though I'm bound by my past with a heavy loss of heart? I'll always be running, sober or no. Death will always be gunning, but will I have the strength to follow?